Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Jey,
And I'm Meka.
and this is our channel. Today, we're doing a review of Black Mirror Season 7. We're going to be doing the whole season, watch it all the way through, and just tell you our thoughts. But before we get to that, enjoy talking to you guys. Check out our content. Leave us a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're active in the comments. We'll always reply, and, we like to interact. We have old stuff. We have stuff coming up, so check us out. All right, so as you see, we're doing Black Mirror, like I said, Season 7. And the first episode was Common People. This was a episode starred Rashida Jones as Amanda, Chris O'Dowd as Mike, and Tracy Ellis Ross as Gaynor. And we'll get into what the characters were briefly. But overall, I thought this was a decent episode.
I liked it.
Yeah, she really liked it.
I really liked it. For one, I am a Tracy Ellis Ross fan, but I also thought she did a great job in the role on there. Everybody did. I really liked this one. It was an interesting concept.
Yeah, she played herself pretty well. She was just being herself.
Well,
that's what I mean. The character was her, what she usually does, like when she's on Girlfriends. But anyways, the point to the episode was Rashida Jones and Chris O'Dowd as Amanda and Mike. They're married. They have a pregnancy situation. They end up not having the child or so. Oh no, they're trying to get pregnant and they don't get pregnant. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And then she's a teacher. She has an episode in class and ends up falling out and pretty much on the verge of death.
Yeah.
And then they introduce her or her husband, Mike, to
she slips into a coma. Remember?
Yeah, she slips into a coma, and there's this thing called River Mind where it pretty much keeps her alive. And you can actually change certain aspects like pleasure senses, serenity, things of that nature, and whatnot. But so they sign up for it, but it's on a subscription basis, and just like most subscription things, as we know in this day and age, there's some side effects. She has side effects. There's some things that so one of the main side effect is she starts spouting out ads just out of the blue. Commercial ads. So her and Mike are in bed, they getting ready, do what they do. And she starts spouting out an ad for contraceptives.
Erectile dysfunction?
Yeah, erectile and contraceptives.
Yeah.
Which was funny.
She got in trouble at school.
She got in trouble at school because she's talking to a child about something else, religion-based.
Yeah.
And then she starts spouting out an ad and everything. And just like with subscriptions, when they went back to the Rivermind headquarters, you want to call it, and that's where we meet Tracy Ellis Ross. She essentially is like the manager salesperson. She's like, hey, upgrade. The upgrade you just did is now the standard. We got this new we got this new level, which was, I thought, go ahead.
Yeah, but they needed the upgrade. You remember why? Because she was about to get fired from her job.
The upgrade stops just like ads and other things. You pay more, less ads. So, there was things there. Money was getting tight because she was going to get fired, losing money, or whatever. Yeah. Ultimately, there's a lot of in between stuff, which is kind of, you get the point. The ads, and eventually she ends up losing her job. Money gets tight. Mike has to do things. He actually goes on to a streaming site and does different acts to get money, like pulling out teeth and things of that nature. But eventually, what ends up happening is she gets really sick. They have these one-off, PlayStation cards type of thing, $20 here. He gets her card.
Gift cards, right?
Like a gift card, yeah. Boosts her serenity for the time frame, for a little while, and she asks him to, relieve her at the end of it, which he does. And that was the end of that first episode. And, I thought it was good. I personally would give it a B- if I'm graded.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked it. I just thought the whole ad thing was kind of funny at first when it first started happening, because it's kind of one of those things like when you have Apple Music.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, if you don't want ads, then pay for this. It basically the same type of concept, but this is implanted in her brain. And that was a really interesting way or take on that. I felt like.
Yeah, I thought it was a good way to kind of translate.
Yeah, so
to
I
make it
enjoyed
relatable.
I enjoyed that. It was to me, it was one of the good Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah, I thought it was decent. I thought it was decent. So
on to the next one.
All right, so episode 2 was, I believe that's pronounced Betty Nore.
Sure.
Nor, Betty Nor, or whatever.
Nor.
This was an episode. Didn't really know anybody. This is one of the episodes where it's like not a prominent American star in it. As you know, Black Mirror initially was from like overseas, the BBC, BBC network, and whatnot. So, but it still was a decent episode. The episode is about a character named Maria who works for like a food company, coming up with like new candies and things like that. And a person that she knows from her past named Verity ends up coming to like a research study and then ends up applying to a job and getting a position at the job. Cool thing about this episode was kind of how they implemented the twist, which was things that Maria would say or do would change, and she was the only person that noticed it. Like, there's a part where they're talking about a restaurant. I think it was called Barney's, and she was saying it was she was saying it was Barney's, and they're saying no, it's Bernie's. And she's like, no, I know. My boyfriend worked for them for like 5 years. It's Barney's, and they're like, no. So they look it up on Google, and it's Bernie's with an E, not an A, like she was saying. She goes home, talks to her boyfriend, and he sees the hat has the logo on it. There was a big part where she's coming up with a new concoction, a new recipe, and she tells Verity, who now works with her, that hey, we need non-pork, non-meat, like vegetarian gelatin for this dessert. Yeah. And she sends it in an email, and it has a name. I don't remember the name.
In it too, like no.
Yeah,
no
it was like a whole thing with the recipe, and when they make the dessert, the guy loves it. Come to find out, it was a beef-based gelatin, which is
and
not
the
a good
guy
thing.
is like vegan, so
it
was a major problem.
Yeah. As time goes on, you find out that Verity used to go to school with Maria and her group of friends. And this stuff starts happening. Maria gets very paranoid because she sees what's going on, but nobody else does. But then something happens at work where there's an incident that happens on camera, and Maria's like, yes, check the cameras. You'll see that this happened. And the way that Verity said that the situation happened,
it does not pop up on camera.
It does not pop up on camera. It comes out the way Maria said it and the way Verity said it.
Yeah.
It comes up on camera the way Verity said it, but it actually happened the way Maria said it. And you come to find out that Verity has these pendants that alter what people recognize as reality.
Basically change what has happened if she speaks into it.
Yeah.
It changes everything. I wanted to say something about that whole nut thing, because remember, she was like, they were like, no, you said nuts go in this recipe, and she's like, I have had a nut allergy since I was a kid. And remember, the guy was like, what's a nut allergy? Like, that's when it starts getting really weird, because it's like, that's a common thing, right? A nut allergy. But he was like, that's a foreign thing. What do you mean by nut allergy? He was running the word together and everything. She's like, are y'all crazy? Like, what the heck is going on? So, yeah.
Yeah, she was able to, like, change complete reality with that thing and whatnot. So, you know, long story short, this episode, we find out that, like I said, her and Verity went to high school. Maria made up a lie about Verity and one of the teachers, which caused strife in Verity's life. So she created these little medallions, these little charms that she could change reality, essentially. And she does that. And, you know, at the end of the episode, you know, they have an interaction. Maria goes to her house and they tussle and whatnot. She gets her hand on one of the pendants. She changes to reality so that, because she actually ends up canceling or deleting Verity. And the police are there. She does her thing. And the ending is her, she makes herself like a goddess at the end of it.
Something like that.
I like the premise to it, but I didn't like the ending. the ending was trash to me.
You think so? What didn't you like about the ending?
It's because it happened so quick. Like the whole situation happens with the police with Verity, and then she does that, and then right away she goes to this "I'm a goddess" thing. It just
the goddess thing. I felt like they could have left that part out, but I did like the part where she did what she did to Verity, and then convinced the cops. Like basically told them by rubbing that thing on her neck that Verity was the one that attacked her, and that was her house. Yeah. She changed it to it was her because she had broken into Verdi's house and all that kind of stuff. But so I thought that was a cool episode too.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I just didn't like the ending, which I'm gonna let you guys know now. Like that's kind of a theme for me with this, like the ending.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the next episode we have Hotel. I think they was pronouncing it Riviera or something like that. Riviera. Mm-hmm. You see it. This episode actually has it has Issa Rae in it. It has Emma Corrin in it, and it has Awkwafina in it, which is pretty good. For those three to kind of be the leads and whatnot. Basis of this episode, Issa Rae's character of Brandy. She's an actress who is kind of on the slumps. Awkwafina plays I don't want to say like a talent person, but anyway, they have this program where they can actually take an old movie and alter it and they can like remake it in real time. Is what happens. And Emma Corrin, she plays the character of Clara, aka Dorothy, who is actually one of the actresses in the movie. So essentially, Issa, they put her under, as most of Black Mirror's stories, they, put the temporal thing on them, they go under. And, she's in this movie in real time, like, it's an older movie, but she's able to make alterations in real time as long as she stays with the storyline to a certain extent to hit certain check marks to keep the story moving. Awkwafina is on the outside running it, or Awkwafina's character is called Kimmy. She's on the outside running it. And then there's, Claire in there and whatnot. Things go awry to a certain extent. Like I personally didn't.
Yeah, this episode wasn't that entertaining. I'll be honest. I was kind of disappointed in it. I don't know. They became like each other's love interests kind of in this film, correct? And then at a certain point, Issa ends up wanting to stay there, right? And the girl, the other lady, Clara, at first she's not even aware that she's in a film. Like she's AI generated. She is not aware that she's AI generated,
right?
And she thinks she's a real person, all that kind of stuff. So,
at a certain point, like something happens to the equipment. Brandy, Issa Rae's character, gets trapped in the simulation longer than she's supposed to. So what seems like 10 minutes in the real world is like 6 to 9 months in there or something like that. So long story short, she's there. They end up doing things. She ends up hitting some of the check marks, and she's able to come out of simulation. They find a way for them to like talk on the phone, for Brandy to talk to Clara in the simulation on the phone. But this was trash to me. I did not like this episode.
Yeah.
It was honestly a waste of time. I thought it was going to be reminiscent, and we were talking about it, of the Twilight Zone episode where the lady's stuck in the department store and all the mannequins kind of come to life. That from back then was better than this.
It was.
Me personally.
And I still think that that's where they drew inspiration from, but. And I'm a big Issa Rae fan, but she just didn't pop on screen on this for me. And it was just odd. Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, so this is for me just like a C-. I was not.
Yeah, I would say I agree with that.
So that is episodes 1 through 3. We're actually gonna break this into 2 parts. So this is episode 1 through 3, and then we're gonna do 4 through 6. So you'll see that linked in here just to roll it over. But thank you for taking a look at us. Watch part 2. Give us a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back on part 2.